Okay guys, we're going to go over the Bruno Fernandes player review. I've got the TikTok in the middle, so I suppose you can say watch in the background while we go over the player review of the player itself. Now, the main thing I really want to talk about is when the two remaining UCL cards, he does get an upgrade. Now, and if you get the UCL round of 16, he gets another upgrade. Now, this is the thing. The card itself is very good because you have the incisive pass. Now, I would say him as a card, if you're going to be playing him in that number 10 role or you're going to be playing him as a centre mid, I think he's a very good card. His passing is second to none. You can see, for example, like here, he's able to distribute the ball, especially you can use precision passes in these lanes, especially you can lob the ball from side to side. That's where I think he's really going to excel here. You can see from all these clips here, he's got good left foot dribbling, and you can see he can do outside of foot shot. If you want a card that can pass the ball, this is the guy for you. I think more, I would say, of, in my opinion, a 4-1-2-1-2 centre mid, or maybe something like in a pivot. That's where I would really see him. But there's a couple of flaws with this card. The benefits are as well, of course, as I said, is a stamina. He's got the shooting upgrade as well. But some of these shots, as you can see, that one there was just really a rainbow. It wasn't really much of an issue. But I would say, look, the incisive pass is what you're really paying for. So if you're looking for more of that box-to-box player, someone that can get the job done, he's fine. As a cam or a 10, I don't know, it's a bit of a tough one. His penalties are good as well. I thought I'd just chuck this one in as well. But the card itself, what about the card itself? Now, compared to the gold card, you have to bear in mind, it's a bit of a tricky one. And the reason why I say this is because he's 4-star, 3-star weak foot. Now, that's going to make him right foot predominantly. Especially if you're making his passes going to be predominantly right footed. Ideally, you want a 4-star. I mean, it would have been nice if they upgraded. Maybe because it's too early on in the year. But the base upgrades are just about enough to be deemed worth it, yeah. But then you have 3-star weak foot, 4-star, so always high. So that's why I say he can really play more as I would say a box-to-box player. Maybe I'd probably recommend a shadow. The only thing is with his shadow, his defense awareness is pretty low. So will the shadow make that much of a difference? Probably not. I'd probably say shadow if you've got two box-to-box. But if you've got someone alongside like Tonali next to him, I think you can put a hunter on him because then he gets his shooting. And you can see he's got 94 finishing. Now this is the thing. If this card gets upgraded, it could potentially go to 99 finishing. That is the potential. So this could be one of the better box-to-boxes. He's got very good dribbling. Agility balance is not the best, but because of the lesser dribbling this year, you can get away with it, being 5'10". Physicality very good. His aggression is good, and so is his stamina. If you're going to be playing someone like in a 4-3-3, then he's definitely a player for you. He's passing second to none. Now, is he better than the gold version? I don't think he is. I think he's more of a card that maybe if you have the money, you can do him. Now, the thing is, even if you get the road to the final card, now let's just do it by base value, right? And I'll show you how you can really fit him in. With KDB, if you're talking about stats for stats, okay, KDB's got the 5-star weak foot. Now, immediately in my head, that just trumps everything because KDB has the. Now, the benefit as they both have the incisive pass, but the thing is that KDB has the whip pass and the dead ball. So if you want a free kick, or at least a free kick taker, but a free kick taker is the one to take. But something that KDB doesn't have, and is the ping the pass. Now, if you've been watching my streams and stuff like that, you'll know this is one of the most important things in a game. In fact, pinged passes are one of my favorite things to do. If you have the ability to make that kind of pass, you can get them at a very good level. And that's why I say if you want a pure pass, he's the card to get. Is he better than KDB though? I would say no. The pace is identical. The shooting is better, but you could argue the lack of the 5-star weak foot. I think he loses shooting. It's only really his volleys and penalties that's making him stats-wise a bit higher than KDB. The passing is very similar. The dribbling, I think that's where he wins. He wins better agility and balance. I would say that's the real main thing. The rest, KDB kind of has it. And defensively over KDB, they're talking about a slight difference. And then it's the physicality. Yeah, KDB's got better strength, but really Bruno wins on the aggression and the jumping. Now, these are small minute changes. Is he really worth now 600k compared to 100k? That's when it's a different situation. I'll be honest, the way that I'll play him, let's say if I had him in my team, I would probably put him over here. I'll probably put him like alongside in the 3, like this. This is where I'd really realistically want to play him. In a midfield 3, and I put someone like Tonali. So this is what I was saying. If you have someone like Tonali, that would be a good combination. The benefit is he's United, so there's actually quite a few ways you can link him. I think Rashford is a good way. I wouldn't really get De Gea, but you could go Varane. That could be option number one. Cancelo is no longer in the Premier League, but if you want a Ronaldo, you can always get that Portuguese link. If you do have a League One team though, you can get Nuno Mendes. So there's ways of getting him on full chemistry if you don't have that team. I wouldn't really go to Ruben Diaz. People are saying, are suggesting him. I wouldn't go with him. Now, Jota is a good example. But apart from that, that's it. So I would say, look, if you are going to play this card and you're going to link him in, I'll say realistically, Varane and Rashford would be the best way to get him on chemistry. All you need, remember, all you need is a United player and one more, and you just need a Portuguese manager. So I'm just going to type in Mendes. I think is it, what's his name? That Portuguese manager? I forgot his name. But anyway, you can use anyone, Marco Silva, and you can see, look, even without the Premier League, look, he gets the chemistry. So realistically, you only need 2 other cards with him. I see him realistically in a 4-3-3. I think maybe you can get away with it in like a 4-2-3-1, but in a cam position. But I'll be honest, I don't think he can play there just because the agility and balance is not high enough. He's got everything else, but he hasn't got that pace. In my opinion, a cam's got to be a second striker. I think realistically, if you are going to play him like this, you got to put someone like Tonali or a good CDM, someone alongside him like this. So you have Tonali staying back, and then you have Bruno Fernandes going forward. That's the way that I see him. As I said, the price, I don't think is worth it. Anything apart from like the 4-3-2-1. I think he would really excel in a 4-3-2-1 as an outside. Remember, he's predominantly right-footed, so bear in mind where you're going to make this passes. That's why I see him. In a 4-4-2, 4-3-1, he's CDM alongside someone that's defensive. But that is it. In terms of players that are very similar to him that you can get instead, this is the thing as well. We have KDB. You know, if we just type in centre mids and CDMs, right? Let's say creative ones. We're going to put Odegaard in there as well. We're just going to put everyone on a similar price range here, really. Tonali is the one that I'm really looking at here, and Ramirez is just way out of budget. But I think that's pretty much it. You have Bruno Fernandes, and now his new card. This is why I think his new card has even more reason now. If we look over here, just gonna get my tool out. If you look over here at the bottom of the screen, high 6 foot, but you see he's got the defensive awareness. So in my opinion, if you're looking for that centre mid, just get Bruno Fernandes. Yes, he won't have the incisive pass playstyle plus, which is going to be the negative. But like for like, he's got similar stamina and only 9 less. Jumping will be decent. Strength is better than Bruno's. And aggression is, I think, virtually the same. Defensive awareness is good, but he's got the short passing and the long passing. So realistically, the crossing and free kick accuracy just make the overall stat go down. The only thing that Bruno will lack will be the shooting. So if you're not going to shoot with the card and you're just going to use him as a pure CDM, I would say Bruno is a better one because, Bruno Fernandes is the better one because Bruno Fernandes, he does lack in those areas. Now, personally, I'm not going to go with a Hunter. I think he can use it, but I think a Shadow is the way to go. I think he'll be more of a defensive pair. The only downside is, of course, that this card's not tradable. So what I would say is go for this card. If you're going to go for that link, Brazil as well, a bit easier to link with the Neymars and the Binias. Otherwise, in my opinion, just go with KDB. Save your money. I'll be honest, you know my opinion on SBCs, keep your money liquid. It's only if you know you're going with a long-term team. But is Bruno a 500k? I would say not. So is he meta card? I'd say definitely is. He does lack in many areas. I would say he's a good attacking centre mid is where I'd put him at. I'd say defensively lacks high, perfect as a balance role. But that is it really. But that's just my review on Bruno Fernandes. As I said, look, just save your money. Go with a KDB or Bruno Fernandes is probably the better card to get. But if he gets upgraded, then things can look spicy. I think with this card, it's best to wait, see how far he gets, then decide if you want him. Don't get him now, in my opinion. That's just the Bruno Fernandes. Appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.